What is up, everybody? Here's what's happening. I have been invited to be a part of a clubhouse from 2 to 3, where we're going to talk about all things video. And man, there's some really cool people that are a part of this. And so I thought I'm going to just go live. So for those of you that are non-iPhone users, here's your chance to be a part of Clubhouse. And for everybody else, if you don't want to actually go onto Clubhouse, you can do it right here. So as soon as this room starts, hey Shauna, I'm gonna have it mic'd, and we're gonna see how this goes. Let's see.
What's up, gents?
Yo, yo, yo.
What's going down?
What up?
Make you guys moderators real quick. How are you guys?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Enjoying the finer things.
I was gonna go invite some people. So I'm gonna go mute.
I'll do the same. You too, Kyle. What up, Aaron?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Yeah, if anybody in the audience also wants to invite any people in here, what we're going to be talking about is video techniques, tactics. You'll have opportunities to ask the all-star crew we got up here, people that are doing it at a real high level, any question that you want, or how we're going to go about it. What's up, Jazz?
What's up, everybody? What's going on, Ronnie? Nice to hear from you, my man.
Likewise, brother. Jazz, do you know Jeff and Kyle and Aaron?
Aaron and I have been in a few rooms with each other. Don't think I formally have met him. What's up, Aaron?
What's up, man?
And Kyle, I gotta say no. And if we have met, I truly apologize.
Nah, bro, you're good. We have not met, so you are safe. Good to meet you.
Well, I'm the good-looking Indian guy from what my mom tells me. So I would hope that you guys would remember.
Oh man,
I love that. I tell people that I'm the good-looking, overweight guy. So that's cool.
Awesome. I'm excited for this. Ronnie, how you doing, brother?
I'm living my
Hey
best
guys,
life,
y'all,
bro.
can y'all hear, those of you that are watching,
Enjoying every day.
can y'all hear this?
Finally great. So
Give me like a thumbs up. Let me know audio's good.
So I can't complain, man.
Awesome. We just got rid of, we just finished up a massive snowfall here in Toronto, Canada, back to back. There was really no place to even put the snow, but we got some sunshine today, melted it all away. It's starting to feel like an early spring day here.
I'm just pinging in a couple more people, and then we can get rocking. I think all we have left is we're waiting for Mike Cuevas and Tristan.
I say we roll, and if they join, we'll bring them in then.
Cool. I got
Snooze the loose.
yeah, there. I got like two or three more people to ping in a second.
I'll just set it up really quick. So for those of you that are hanging out, I mean, I'm assuming we'll have a couple things to touch on, but if anyone that's listening, we'd love to bring some people up and any questions you guys have from beginning to end of video creation, whether it's about equipment or what to buy or what not to buy, or do you need to buy anything? Going through the mindset of content creation, the different methods that we use. I think we're all pretty just across the board in terms of what we know. I've seen a lot of these guys' content up here, and I know we can pretty much answer anything. So feel free to raise your hand there at the bottom right.
I just want to also point out we have the world famous Frank Garay in the audience. I don't know if you guys know Frank, but he is one of the founders of the National Real Estate Post. Become a buddy, and he's got a tiny following of like 200,000 people that are opt-ins on an email list. So Frank, welcome. If you want to come up and say any words or join us, we'll bring you up. Just let us know if you're there.
Cool. You guys want to get rocking?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's ride, baby. All right, cool. So thanks, everybody, for showing up. I appreciate everybody coming into the room. I'm sure we'll have a couple more come in and go. The concept of this room is to really just get everybody up to playing field on their video tactics, techniques. If you have any questions, please make sure to raise your hand. This will be sort of an open forum question. We have some awesome people up here that are doing video at an extremely high level. So I'll let everybody do some introductions. I'll introduce myself first, just a brief one. Ronnie Sylvia out of Sacramento, California, a realtor for the past 5 years, was a fireman previously, and started doing video because I knew nothing in the real estate space. And that's basically what I've been doing my whole career now. Before it was the cool thing to do. And I have a couple shows. I have a new podcast coming out in about 4 or 5 days called Every Agent Wins. We're bringing the top real estate talent across the planet. Had pretty much everybody on this panel on the show already. So make sure to check that out. They're doing it at such a high level. So go ahead, Jeff.
Right on, man. Thanks for having me, Ronnie. It's good to be here. It's good to become friends with you as we have through social media and doing video. Real quick, the best way to learn about me is go check out my bio. Pretty much spells it all out for you there, and you can go check me out on some other platforms. But I will say this, all of my business growth, which has been massive over the last couple of years, I can 100% attribute it to doing video, which I started 5 or 6 years ago, started becoming very consistent on social media. And it has now led to not only massive growth in my mortgage business, but also created a bunch of new opportunities with a bunch of other businesses. One being the Business Video School, where we actually teach people how to integrate more video into their business. So I'm slightly passionate about this topic.
And a baller at it. So yeah, man, Jeff, check out Jeff, man. He's doing things at a real high level. He also does the podcast for Lab Coats. So that says a lot about him. Kyle, go ahead, brother.
What's up, everybody? I am Kyle Draper. Very similar to Jeff, most likely at a much smaller level than he. Everything I do is video based, and so I kind of coined myself as the organic social media expert. And so everything I coach and teach is all about helping realtors and lenders grow their businesses, leveraging social media without having to spend any money. And video is a massive part of that. And so, man, I'm excited to be here with you guys. I'm also excited to learn. And so, like Jeff said, go check out my bio if you want to know more than that. I'm excited to be here.
Love it, man. And Kyle's doing a lot of content compounding. So you do one video and get 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of material. So make sure to connect with him if you are doing that. The YouTube King, Mr. Aaron, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Man, I appreciate you inviting me up here with, I've been in rooms with Kyle, Jeff, Jazz, and everyone just always spitting fire. So love that. Appreciate you having me apart. I focus mostly on the YouTube side of things. So my background is in organic and YouTube, been doing it for the past 10, 11 years, more specifically in the real estate space for the past 4 or 5. Any questions or anything that I can shed light on in terms of YouTube and how to grow on YouTube, not only from a metric standpoint for followers and viewers and subscribers and stuff like that, but our big thing is turning subscribers into buyers and or sellers, right? And getting them to, starting that relationship, getting them to know, like, and trust you, and then continuing through the process. So appreciate you having me on, man. Any questions on YouTube, I'm here for it.
Love it, bro. Love it. Mr. Cuevas has hit the room, baby. It's alive. All right, man. We're doing some introductions. Jazz, you are next, and then Mike Cuevas hit it after that.
Jazz from Toronto, Canada. Been in sales and service for 26 years. 16 of those years I've been in real estate. I manage a team of 41 agents, have 11 support staff, out of which 7 are part of my media squad. I've been doing a podcast for about a year, coming up to 2 years now, actually. I think about 140 or so episodes deep. Talk primarily about how to buy, sell, and invest in real estate. My macro thesis on business development is give away all the secrets on how to buy on your own, how to sell on your own, how to invest on your own. Kind of has made me the authority, or in the process of becoming the authority here in Toronto, Canada. And then I take that podcast or macro piece of content, very similar to what Kyle is doing. I try to do, some would say obnoxiously, 20 to 23 pieces of content a day on all the platforms. My cup is full. If you read my bio, that's kind of what I go around and say in a lot of rooms, is that my cup is full now. It's my time to give back. Take what you want, i.e. I have a guide that I give away for free. I have nothing to sell you here unless you're thinking about maybe investing in real estate. That's all I got. And it's specifically in Toronto. But in terms of all my experience and the ups and downs and the failures and the successes around content creation, I try to document that. And there's a guide that I put together that's how to produce about 20 to 23 pieces of content. Hook up with me offline, wherever, DM me something, get a hold of me, bat signal, whatever you got to do. I'm not that hard to find.
Love it, man. Hit them up. Yeah, for sure. Hit any of these guys up. They're doing it at a high level. Hit Jazz up, because that guide is on point for sure. Mike Cuevas, what's up, man?
What's up, Ronnie? Thanks for having me, dude. Hi, everybody. My name's Mike Cuevas. I have a website and podcast called The Real Estate Marketing Dude. We do a lot of scripting, content creation. Basically, we script edit and distribute videos for people all around the country, even Canada. So we do content creation. If you guys have questions on content creation, if you're stuck on what to say or how to say it, more importantly, pick my brain. I'd love to speak on that. So that's where I can add most value probably today. But thanks for having me, Ronnie.
100%, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. If you're not already following everybody that is a moderator up here on stage, please go ahead and do so. And then also anybody in the audience, man, if you guys want to come up, ask questions. And I encourage everybody to take a look at everyone's bio. And if your bio is not on point, get it on point. But I encourage everybody to look at everyone's bio and see how you can make connections, because that's really what this app has done for everyone. So make connections that you otherwise may not have been. But I think we have a question from Ashley. We're talking video and how to dominate video. Ashley, what is your question, comment, or concern?
Before you speak, Ashley, I just want to say your bio kicks ass. Nice job.
Thank you so much. I actually got pinged up to the stage, so I don't have any particular questions, but I am thinking a lot about YouTube right now. I'm a new YouTuber, and I've started a channel. I have 2 channels now. I have one that's kind of catering to a very specific part of my business that's kind of beyond me just as a realtor, and it's had some short-term unexpected success. So I am working on my little personal realtor channel now and hoping to find the same kind of steam with it. And I think really where I've found some of the success has been with adding YouTube shorts while it's still early. But if anyone has any thoughts on best practices or things they picked up, I know we're still all learning about how to leverage YouTube with shorts. But any thoughts on that? That's why I'm in this room, because I'm trying to get better video.
I'm getting in the shorts too. I think the jury's still out on how to best practices. I'm sure there's other people could talk on that. I think in overall content creation, the only videos that we see generate like organic type views is 100% going to be the moving to or the living in type series stuff. That and city tours, specific neighborhood tours. The combination of those different types of content are generally what gets the views, but you got to make sure you're in an area where those views exist. So if you're like in a town with 20,000 people, there's probably not a lot of search there. So, that strategy might be, I would totally advise differently, as if you're in Florida and you're getting relocation like every which way, but sideways, if that helps. So anyone else have anything else to add on that?
Yeah, I'll add some stuff on there because that's 100% right. Like, and I was just looking at your channel, Ashley, and it looks like you're doing a lot of that stuff, kind of like the tours and the house tours and how to buy and sell and living in places. What we've been actually finding, and I'm glad you asked that because I was talking a lot about it earlier and I nerd out about YouTube. But what we're actually finding works best, and everyone's different, right? But it's, for those of you that are listening that don't know about YouTube Shorts, it's essentially the easiest way I can explain it is TikTok for YouTube, and it's in beta on YouTube, and it's YouTube's attempts to capture short form, the short form content market. But yeah, so what we're doing that's working the best is we'll have like a long form video. So let's say on a Monday we put out like the cost of living in Virginia Beach, Virginia, right? And then a couple days later, what we'll do is we'll cut like a smaller, not smaller, but just a shorter form piece of that, maybe like a blooper or a snippet or the best part of the video, making sure that it's less than 60 seconds, making sure that we export it in a vertical format. So, that it shows up in your phone. And then on the end screen, making that a promotion to the main video. And what we've been seeing, and this is just, we've only done 3 or 4 of them, but every single time the video that we upload, the short version, when we look at the analytics, 99% of the traffic that goes to it out of, we only have, I think, 34 subscribers on the channel. But for those short videos, we're getting like 500 to 600 views per video. And 99.9% of it, based on what YouTube is telling us, is pushing it over to the actual video. And we've gained a pretty good amount of subscribers from that. So we're still in the testing mode of shorts as well, but that's what we're finding that's working well.
Aaron, I got a question for you.
Content.
That's dope. Are you doing like, that's really interesting. So you guys are actually like promoting, you do the short and then I started like the preview and to the actual video. And what's the length of time in between?
Between the uploads?
Yeah, but like when you upload your short, do you do it a day before? You doing it 5 days before? What's the?
So actually we're doing it after. So we do the long form first. And then what we've been testing out about 3 to 4 days later is when like the subscriber base already would have watched the video. So then we basically just push it back up and say, hey, here's the pros and cons. We're still leveraging the same SEO, the same tags, the same titles, relatively. And then we're just pushing them back to the long form video.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Hopefully that wasn't too technical. I know that I get really nerdy about this stuff, so we can talk more about it if you guys have any more questions.
That's what it's all about, man. Thanks for the value. Jeff, I know you have something you want to go over, so go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, I brought Frank up. Frank, if you're here, unmute yourself. And I wanted to introduce him because, first of all, he hates social media, so I think I love it that he's here, number one. Number two, Frank, if you guys don't know Frank Gray, so he built National Real Estate Post. He started doing like video and a vlog style, I would say, and I'll let Frank describe it, but way before any of us were doing video, and some of us may have still been in diapers. That's how old Frank is. But Frank, tell us a little bit about what you've done with National Real Estate Post, because that strategy that you've now grown a opt-in audience of over 200,000 can be duplicated. And so please share, man.
Oh, thanks, Jeff, and everybody else. Great to be here. First time actually really participating as a speaker. I hung out with Andrew Berman and somebody the other day. I'm really new to the clubhouse environment. And am I coming through okay? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good, man.
You're great, man.
Okay,
great hat,
good.
by the way.
Thanks, man. That's an Akubra. That was the topic of, when I was with Andrew, and I forget who it was we were with, but that got brought up as well. It's a very cool hat. Yeah. But with respect to what I have going on, et cetera. So I've been a professional video blogger in July 2nd of this year, it'll be 14 years. And our space has been, or what we video blog about has been mortgage and real estate space, and just kind of industry news and that kind of thing. And my partner and I, Brian Stevens, have tried to, always, we do a show every single day, as best we can every single day. Once in a while we'll miss a day here and there, but pretty rare. But we do a little 5 to 7 minute show every single day. And we've been doing it for 14 years. And that's what we do. We talk about the real estate market, and our viewers, our audience that we've, worked to obtain is, the real estate and mortgage professionals. And so we've done a fairly good job at it. We're still here. We're still doing it. We still do it every day. I'm kind of shocked when we first started doing it and started to gain a little bit of steam and get some, the subscriber thing going. And Brian and I both thought, this will last about 2 or 3 years. And here we are 14 years later, and we're still doing it. And we're still driving great viewership. I was just, sharing some stuff with Tristan earlier today on where we are. And so, yeah, I mean, that's who I am. That's kind of what we do. That's what we've been doing for the past 14 years. And, I'm not sure what else to say there. But
I love it, man. No, that's good. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the National Real Estate Post, it is an awesome source for industry content because they're connected to all of the big names, the Barry Habibs and those type of people who have the technical data that you need to know of what's going on. So I've been using it for years just by chance because of my lab coat agent connection. Now I've become friends with Frank and now we actually have a partnership together. But the source is amazing. So if you're ever saying, you know what, I need to put out content today or this week about something going on in the industry, go to the National Real Estate Post website or the app. And I'm telling you, you're going to have 5 or 6 items to choose from that are like the latest news. And so it's a great resource. Frank, I'm glad to see you here, buddy.
Yeah, man. And just, it's interesting. There's a new thing that we're putting together. One of our sponsor partners on our show is Remen Wholesale. And they've been a partner of ours for probably 10, 12 years, something like that. At least 10 years. And they had an idea and we kind of helped build upon that. And so we're going to be launching a new show. It'll be a weekly show. And it's going to be called That Broker Show because they're really focused on mortgage brokers because they're a wholesale lender. So we've got a new show coming out called That Broker Show. And the nice thing about it, Jeff, is it dovetails into what you were saying. The whole purpose of the show is, in fact, the tagline is industry news that you can use. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to pick a story that's relevant to, the industry and to the consumer. And what we're going to do is we're going to, on our show, we'll talk about that story and, why it's relevant. And then down below the video on the blog itself, there will be a link to that very article that we're talking about, whoever it may have come from, Housing Wire, the Mortgage Note, or whoever. The link to the actual article will be there with instruction on how to share it to your social media and also with a little script that you can copy and paste into your social media post so that you can share the relative news with your sphere of influence. We're going to do that every single week. So there'll always be something if you tune into That Broker Show when it comes out, which will be sometime in March, then you'll be tuning into you'll always get something that you can, I shouldn't say anyone who wants to take advantage of it would be able to grab a story, share it on their social media with a little text post that explains why it's relevant. And then of course, a call to action to engage with them. And so we're kind of going specifically down that exact path with that new show. It's going to be kind of fun.
Brother, thanks for sharing, man.
That's phenomenal value, Frank. Thank you very much. If you guys aren't following Frank, follow him. Hey, Frank, is there a way we can get in contact with you off of Clubhouse?
Well, in my bio, I just say that I'm, the co-founder of the National Real Estate Post. I didn't put a link in there because I know you can't link in there, but it's just, if you just go to, thenationalrealestatepost.com, then that's where we are and you can connect with us there.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Cool.
All right. So I think it looks like we got Chris up next. What's up, man?
I just want to introduce myself and kind of show you how videos completely changed my business for the last 2 years. I've completely helped change the flood insurance industry by using video. I started doing a daily video in 2019, and I spent the last 2 years doing daily videos on strictly flood education and flood insurance issues. And I just hit 750 videos in 750 days, and we've been able to build a national brand without buying a single lead, strictly using video, blogging, and podcasting from stuff that I've learned from the people that are hosting this course and this group.
Amazing, man. Amazing. I love it, dude. And that's the power of what video can do for you is it really it changes things to an attraction rather than a chase. And then that's really the power. So, Christopher, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, it's good to be here. Good to be in the room. Jeff, I listen to you all the time. Appreciate your content. I'm a new realtor, and I have trying to get the courage to do video, Facebook Live. So yesterday, I sat in my office for 3.5 hours, had my finger on the mouse to push live, and I chickened out and never did do it. It's ridiculous. But so my question is, first of all, how do I go ahead and get over that? But two, can you use, I bought I think it's Hohem, H-O-H-E-M gimbal. Can you do Facebook Live with a gimbal like that? That's my question.
I'll jump in here. I think Cuevas can probably add to this as well. So first of all, Christopher, thank you for following. I appreciate you. Second, the answer to the fear is, the best way I will tell you is, this is very normal. Everybody goes through this. I still get nervous, and I don't go live very often anymore because I create so much content. I just don't feel the necessity to do it. But I still get nervous when I go live. But here's the thing. Everybody else also feels the same way. So if I can try to drive you to do it in one simple way to describe it, it's that everyone else is also fearing it. So the sooner you get over that fear, the faster you can get out ahead and stay out ahead of most of your competition. If you stay where you are, you're basically saying that I am accepting that level of mediocrity in my business, which is the social, the video, and that sort of thing. So maybe that'll drive you, maybe it won't, but that's the best way that I can describe it. And as far as using a gimbal and going live, 100%. I actually used, if you saw my recent personal video where I did a tour of my office, my home office, I wasn't holding a gimbal, I was holding a tripod, because even just holding a tripod makes it a little bit better. But yes, you can. And I don't know if anybody has anything to add to that.
Hey, I'd love to jump in if I can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, Kyle, jump in on this. This is your forte, man.
Yeah, Christopher, I do almost all live video, and there's a million reasons for that, and we could dive in later as to why. But here's what I've found for me. Much like Jeff just said, I'm always nervous. I'm live right now broadcasting Clubhouse through my mic, so people on Facebook can experience this conversation. And so even as I'm speaking right now, I'm like, oh crap, there's also people on Facebook Live watching me. Dang it. So the fear is just real. And here's what I found helps me. We've got to provide facts to fight the fear. And the way that I've learned to do it and the way that I teach it is, think about, Christopher, the last coffee you had with somebody. And I know in the COVID world, and maybe that was longer ago than we'd liked it to have been. But when you go into coffee, you're not concerned enough with your looks to not actually walk in. When you go to coffee, you're not concerned enough with what your voice sounds like to not walk in. When you go to coffee, you're not concerned about, oh no, like, what do I talk about? Do I need to take note cards with me so that if this person and I run out of things to talk about, like, I can pull these note cards out? Like, none of that exists when we're having coffee with a friend. But all of a sudden, when we introduce the video aspect, everything becomes the opposite. We're now concerned with what we look like. We're extremely concerned with what we sound like. And then we all of a sudden have almost forgot that we even know the English language and have no idea what to talk about. So I'm explaining all of this to say, if you will, Christopher, realize that the same people you would have coffee with and not be stricken with fear are the exact same people that are going to see your videos. Because what I think gets misunderstood about video is that we need to prepare video for strangers that don't know us yet. And so therefore, we've always got to look our best. We've always got to have ridiculous sick editing. We've got to have top-notch equipment and lighting. And what we end up doing is we overproduce everything and no longer are even relatable to our sphere. And so if you will realize that you're not trying to be an influencer, you're just trying to be a person in your community that has something of value to offer, whether it's real estate, mortgage, plumbing, whatever. When you admit that they're the same people that we're in person with and on video being watched, to me, it changes my perspective. And it gives me a little bit more room to fail because most of the people watching already love me anyway. And that's been super helpful for me and many others that I've coached and taught over the last several years.
Woo! Yo, I felt that.
I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
the biggest thing I think we all see, well said, Kyle. I mean, Kyle, I think we're doing a show soon. I know you text message, man. Nice to meet you in Clubhouse. But hey, guys, just so that was very well said. You cannot outsource authenticity, and we spend so much time focusing on what we're saying versus how we're saying it. And 90% of the way people consume and interpret information is through tonality and body language. So when you see so many damn people like reading off a script, everybody can tell. And the truth is, like, if you guys would just literally get up and go fart on video, and you'll get way more engagement than talking about the market update, because it's real. That's why. So
come on, fart on video. Let's go.
You have to be you. Prove it. The best. I'm not going to fart for you guys. The best videos I ever see are like when women come out in like their hair rollers, and they have no more makeup on, and we see moms with their kids. Like, those videos everyone can relate to, and we're not fighting for damn lead generation. We're fighting for attention. If we have attention, we'll attract when they're ready. So
come on.
Marketing to your database, just like Kyle said, is so differently than marketing to a cold lead source. And let me put it another way. If you're marketing your database like you do to cold lead sources, that's basically like saying like this to your friends. If all I did was talk about work with my friends every single day, guess what? They would stop asking me out for dinner, and they would start calling me a sleazy salesman, hence the term used car salesman. But I have to, it doesn't mean I don't stay in front of them. So 100%, just be relatable. Have stuff that reminds people versus tells them what to do. Hope that helps.
Dang, dropping bombs. I love it, man. I love it. Does that help you, Chris?
That is fantastic. That is that's worth every penny of being on here.
So that's what this room is about, man, is getting those questions answered, giving you the motivation to take yourself to that next level and get over this peak. I have Zach here. Zach has a following of 1.5 million followers on TikTok, man. Tell us how you did it, what you're doing, and how it's going, man.
Well, you got to change that, Zach. It's 1.6 million now. So I brought him in here, and he messaged me. He said he's buying paint because he's building out his like basement studio. So I don't know if he's hanging out, but I just brought him up.
Yeah, I dropped him in too. He's actually coming on my show after this. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about YouTube, Aaron. Can you drop a little bit of knowledge on where somebody can start and how they go about even just creating a channel and the psychology of who to target towards and things of that sort?
Yeah, so I'll kind of go high level, and then if there's any other specific questions, I can go into it. Again, I can talk about YouTube all day long. I think the biggest thing that we always bring back and put in front of somebody is figuring out like what their goal is, like, and asking that as the front and center question, because that's going to then dictate like the route that you take in terms of the content. So for example, at least for the most part, there's really two routes that I see people go. Number one, they want to generate, conversations with potential buyers and sellers, or they want to generate an audience that is more for like recruiting, right? Or for their, let's say, marketing services. So those two approaches would be different. So figuring out, number one, who is that? And then just creating the content and around those types of people, and understand that YouTube, for those of you that don't know, is a search engine, right? So we want to create content around what people are actively searching for, so that we don't get, in the situation where I've seen a ton of people, whether they're first jumping into YouTube or they've tried YouTube in the past, the whole dreaded, well, I'm not getting subscribers, or I'm not getting views, or I'm not getting, the engagement that I want. A lot of times it's just because you're doing one of two things. Number one, you're creating videos that you think that people want to see, as opposed to what they're actually searching for. Or number two, you're just not optimizing them to put them in front of the right people. So that's kind of a high level, just some actionable steps for people. Like if you're looking to generate buyers and sellers, I wouldn't even want to say like buyers and sellers, like just like build relationships with people of what they're, wanting to learn more about your area. Is just kind of like what Mike said earlier, right? The living in, let's say, the pros and cons of living in your area, the cost of living, those two search terms in pretty much every single market are the most searched. And then, like you said, too, like the vlog tours, neighborhood highlights, neighborhood tours, just showing them just overall what is it like to live in that specific area. And that's how you can start to crack the code. And the cool part is, guys, is really no one's doing it for the most part, if we compare it to other platforms. So anyway, any other questions on that? I don't know, Mike, if you want to add anything to that, but that's kind of the general speech.
Nice. Yeah, I love it, man. I want to make sure that everybody in the audience knows that this is an open forum. If you have any questions, please do not be shy. I see some people with the party hats. That means that they are within the first 7 days. So definitely try and come up here and speak. Don't be shy. These guys do not bite. Yeah, so I know we talked about the YouTube. Let's talk about scaling your business using video. Jazz, we haven't heard from you in a bit. Maybe you can talk to us about that. All right, anybody else on the panel that can talk about scaling your business using video?
Go ahead, Aaron, if you want to jump in.
I was going to say, I'd be interested to hear from you and from Kyle.
I mean, for me, it's really simple, and then I kind of describe it in my when I do my bio is that, and frankly, I will say this, props to Mike Cuevas. I mean, everything, when I started doing video, I quickly met Cuevas, like within probably 6 months, and we formed a bromance, and we've had it ever since. But in all seriousness, it was all about the authenticity, and I quickly realized and learned when I started doing video when Facebook Live was brand new. So this is about 6 years ago. And somebody in my market was doing this thing called Coffee Talk, and I was just enamored with it. And so I started just doing video. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Nobody was doing it. So I was getting thousands of views every time I would do a video because it was new. But then I quickly realized that the authenticity is what gained the engagement, and the engagement is what gave me more consistent eyeballs. And so I quickly shifted, because I am in the mortgage industry and I hate that content, like with a vicious passion. And frankly, I've learned to hate real estate content as well. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying it might not be right for you. But what I found was that I really enjoyed creating content around my life and my family. I also found it to be easy because I'm living my life. So I'm just sharing it. I'm just turning my camera on more often than you are, by and large. And so it's one of, I can pinpoint it back to me doing a live video with my daughter, who at the time was 12 or 13. She's now 17 or 18. And she was making slime at the time. And she's like, Dad, I want to sell this on whatever website was going right then. I'm like, let's do a live and let's tell the audience about it. And I got so much engagement on that one video. It was like that light bulb moment of, just share your damn life and do it more often, and people love it. And then when I do sprinkle in the content about my business, the odds of me showing up on their feed now increase. And it's that subliminal reminder. So if anybody knows me, they know I'm always wearing hats. I'm always wearing t-shirts. That's my style. And I'm always wearing business related stuff. That's my subliminal reminder, which means I don't have to talk about it. And it's the same thing when I'm sharing content to my social media. So most of my social media is just entertainment and fun and real life. And so that's something that I think a lot of people overthink, or they get into doing video and they just do market updates or they do industry updates. Like that's where Frank Gray is an anomaly, because that's all he does, and he's built a massive audience. But he is an anomaly. Because if you do that, you're going to find that your content is a relative graveyard. And so what your audience wants is they want to know they want to know you, and they want to know, like, and trust you without you having to cram business down their throat.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think so many realtors and lenders and all those in the industry just barf real estate. And what Mike was talking about earlier makes so much sense, is that these people you're going to alienate your base if you are talking to people just completely about real estate. You have to add value in some other way. You have to talk about things that are real and be real in that space. And you're going to attract people. They already like you. They already trust you. They're already following you. So don't push them away. Give them stuff in order to stay active in your life. Invite people into your life with the video by creating stories and
and doing things that are vulnerable in that space. So that's what 100% that I would suggest people do. Yeah, Ronnie, I'll add a couple things. Is as long as the videos remind people you're in real estate, you're still effectively doing your job, because that's the key. Is like there's a difference between marketing versus advertising. And when we're looking for lead generation, yes, we need to talk specifically about what the hell we're offering, and then ask them for their information in exchange for the lead and be very direct. But when we're marketing, it's more of a giant, hey, don't forget I exist. Don't forget I exist. Don't forget I exist. So from a positioning perspective, anything you do in your community will accomplish that. Like if you're doing business owner interviews, like why the hell are you doing them unless you have nothing else to do with your life? And every video will remind them, because the positioning is really that of a tour guide. We don't sell houses. We sell the communities the houses reside in. Therefore, anything we create around that will prove the point. Branding is very important for these videos. Have your RE/MAX logo on your shirt or whatever brand you're associated with, because what people see is more powerful than what they say. And these are the statistics behind video and content. And literally, if you do it consistently, the only time it doesn't work is people don't like you and there's nothing anyone can help you with. So 10 to 15% of the people who will see your content this year, they're going to be moving. Most don't know it yet. Okay. Some are going to die. Some are going to relocate. Some are going to lose their jobs. Some are going to be like me and have a kid in a couple of days, and we're going to get a bigger house. So people don't know it yet. But 100% of the people that see your content have a referral for you. And I'm not putting my videos in front of my database for their direct business primarily. I'm doing it for their direct referral business. A byproduct of becoming their referral agent is receiving their direct business in exchange. But it's not the primary reason why I'm marketing them. When you switch your mindset for attention versus lead generation, call capture, it'll switch. And then it's just a giant popularity contest that opens up more conversations. Jeff, did I explain that clearly?
Yeah, perfect. And I think one thing I will add to what Mike just said is when it comes to popularity contest or I think that scares people. I think a lot of people, I was just on a podcast this morning, a live podcast, and somebody chimed in and said, well, my life's boring. And I hear that all the time. But what is your life boring in comparison to? We're all comparing ourselves to the Gary V's and the Grant Cardones and all of these people standing in front of private jets and fast cars. That's not reality. That's not life. That's not what resonates with your audience. What resonates with them is you and your real life. And so if your quote unquote boring is gardening, yeah, that might be boring to me, but there's probably going to be several hundred followers of yours on social media or friends on social media who also love gardening. And now you're going to create a unique bond with them where they're going to start engaging your content. They're going to start showing up on your stuff's going to start showing up in their feed more often, and they're going to become raving fans. So gardening is what's going to bring you guys together. But then real estate, you're going to become the go-to realtor, the go-to whatever it is you're doing. And so you got to find that commonality with people and realize, I don't know who said this, but maybe it was Kyle. We're not going to become Gary Vee. None of us, even the guys on this panel, none of us are probably going to be that person other than Zach. Zach is another anomaly. But we're not going to be that famous person. But we could build much larger audiences with what we have and with what we do to create raving fans, which is going to create more business.
100%, Jeff. Everyone's like, you don't need a wide audience. Like, people are always like, I want to have 3,000 views. Dude, I'm happy if I had 300 views from my top 100 every single video, because that's all you freaking need. The statistics are right there. The average agent sells 12 houses a year, 10 houses a year. Like, you could trip over 10 deals a year in referrals because it's just a matter of staying in front of the right people. When they know, like, and trust you already, they will refer you the same way you refer other people, other things. But don't overthink the content creation part of it. The more human you are, the better it actually works, and the more approachable you'll become on it.
Love it. Thank you guys for sharing that. That was fire. So Matt, I see you. I know you have a question. Zach, are you in the audience now?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? I had to go run some errands real quick, so I'm ready for our podcast.
I love it, bro. Tell us a little bit about your story, man. And you have 1.5 million TikTok viewers, or 1.6, Aaron said, which is bananas, man. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I'm just a video guy. I've fallen in love with social media and everything about it. Because basically when I got into real estate, I was young, broke, and stupid. I didn't know how to sell a house. I didn't know how to appraise one, and I didn't have $1 to my name to be able to put toward advertising or, flyers or anything that, the people around me told me to do. So I went straight to things like Facebook Live and putting posts on Instagram and slowly started to figure out that I was solving a problem that other realtors hadn't been solving, which was being accessible and approachable and being basically organic in the places that they already were. The thing about advertising and marketing is we tend to think that, if we put up a billboard or, we run a commercial that we're going to get business. And we absolutely could, mailers can absolutely get us business. But what we don't realize is that marketing on social media is the only medium right now that's available to us where we can advertise and post content in a place organically they already want to be. Nobody wants to look at a billboard. Nobody wants to watch a TV commercial unless it's a Super Bowl. Nobody wants that. And I think right now the stat is the average person sees like 4,000 pieces of marketing or advertising a day digitally, which is crazy. So for me, I just was like, okay, cool. So I'm just going to start creating content. I can't pay to advertise. I'm just going to have to grow my organic audience. And I slowly became more and more and more authentic as I, came into my own and got more and more comfortable. And now I don't think there's a damn thing that people don't know about my life. I always tell people, if other than like your top 15 friends, like that deep dark shit, or just your private life or your prescription at a pharmacy, outside of that shit, like everybody in the world should know about your life. Everybody should know every fucking thing about you. Because like you're talking about gardening, you'll bond over something like that. Like right now I've recently gotten Snapchat, and I found it as a lead haven for me because I already have an audience, and now I'm connecting with people. Like they're just reaching out to me about my story that I put out, and then they'll say, "Oh, I hate painting too. We're painting our home right now so that we can get it ready to sell. We'll hit you up soon." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, this is beautiful." And I haven't posted a single thing about selling homes. They just know from my content and, not like market updates every other week, which aren't bad, but just to go back to answer your question, my story is really just I'm an idiot. I was broke. I still pretend I'm broke every day. And I think that's the ingredient for success. I think too many people come in with thinking they're $20,000, spending every dollar of it's going to earn it back, and that they think that they're smarter than everybody else. I think those are the two ingredients for failure, in my personal opinion. But I love this. I love the people up here. I've seen Ashley all the time on TikTok. She kills it as well. Aaron's my boy, Mr. Jeff, and then Ronnie. We're jumping on that podcast. Mr. Marketing guy over here, Mike. I look forward to connecting with you as well, Kyle. So, idiot that's makes videos for social media.
You can see the authenticity of this cat, man. It's very, very raw, and that's what I appreciate about you, and can't wait to learn more about you, brother. Mr. Matt, what's going on, my friend? I know you're brand new to Clubhouse, so unmute your mic and shoot, brother.
What's happening, guys? It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, Ronnie, for inviting me. I don't have a whole lot necessarily to say other than, obviously this is stuff I've been paying attention to for a while, right? You don't get into this real estate game or any entrepreneurial game without thinking, okay, how can I grow my business organically, like you guys mentioned, right? And I just got to be honest, right? Shooting from the hip here. I'm not naturally an extrovert, like somebody who wants to constantly engage with people, that wants to constantly like do the social media, do this stuff. Do I see the value? Absolutely. Do I also know that it's okay to give myself a break? Yes, 100%. Sometimes putting too much out there is just exhausting. And I know there's time blocking for everything that you want to do. And I completely agree with it. I'm just talking personally for me. It's definitely been a growth aspect, right, for my business and for me as a person. Showing those intimate moments is a little scary at first, but also can be great for growth because you go, hey, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's about the growth for me personally, right? And I just got to say, like, it's, you know, I struggle with it. I go ups and downs, right? Like sometimes I won't post for a couple of days, but I know it's because I'm recharging the batteries and I'm getting back into, okay, what can I come up with content wise and just have fun and be silly and be myself. I've noticed that my most engagements are just me being a goofball with my kids or the family, or just coming up with something really silly to share. And as I think it was either Jeff or Kyle, or actually, sorry, Mark, you know, don't be afraid to show.
You're cutting out a bit, brother.
And I'm actually in the car, so I wanted to make sure I got on it. But, you know, I'll leave it there for you guys. I appreciate you letting me jump in and say a couple words. I guess if I was saying anything, it's give yourself a little bit of grace and, you know, use it as a tool and as a piece to show your life, and don't let it also beat you up and consume you too much. Don't think about it too much, right? Like don't let it hurt you from just showing who you are.
Love that, brother. Thank you so much for coming up and being vulnerable. If anybody else has any other questions, I'll encourage you. We have about 10 more minutes here. So I guess a question that I have is everybody kind of always thinks that there is so much equipment that we need and we have to go huge and there's so much involved with it. Maybe let's talk a little bit about, for some of those people that are new to this, what kind of equipment may be needed to just get started and that's going to put you in the best way to succeed. Does anybody touch on that?
Can I jump in real quick?
Do it.
So I want to go, because so many of you that are already up here, like y'all do produced video at such a high level, y'all can speak to the actual equipment that's awesome. I want to speak to a slightly different variation of this question, Ronnie, which is your question is exactly why I do almost all live video, because everyone overthinks the equipment that they need. And then that creates insecurity because I have a $300 camera, but then Jazz shows up with an $800 camera. And then, you know, Ashley shows up with a $3,000 camera. And so I'm always, you know, insecure if I'm basing it around the equipment. And so what I love about live video, which now we can leverage live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, right? Like Clubhouse is obviously in a live environment. And so what I love about live video is it requires nothing. I need zero editing skills to do live video well, right? Nothing. I also have an audience that has a very low expectation because it's live, right? And so the other beauty in a weird way, what we feel insecure about with live video is also protected because it's live video. Because the moment I put out and so I just really love the rawness of live video to what Cuevas said about, you know, you can't outsource authenticity. Well, guess what? I can't fake it too long when I'm live on camera. And so I would encourage anybody listening, if you're struggling with like, what equipment do I need? Just jump into the live pool and then slowly grow and adapt and evolve from there.
Kyle, let me ask you a question and please jump on this. I think what people struggle with on live is what the fuck do I talk about?
Yeah.
So maybe give us 2 or 3 things someone could do today in order to start doing lives and get some traction.
So we've already touched on a lot of that for anybody that's been a part of the entire hour. Multiple people on here, y'all have already done a great job of that. But if you're in real estate, right, a simple live video to do is go do a tour of a property and just go walk through it. Show people a couple of the rooms. Be a character, like embody yourself. You know, make sure you're a part of that video. That's an easy live to do. Another great way to leverage live video is doing interviews, whether you leverage Zoom and then broadcast it out to Facebook Live, or you use something like StreamYard or Restream. But interviews are so easy because I have to do half the talking, right? When, Ronnie, when you and Zach do your podcast, you as the host, man, you don't have to do a whole lot because Zach is going to bring all the value. You're just asking the questions. And so I think bringing other people in is great. And then the final thing I'll say, and then I'll just shut up so everybody else that's way smarter than me can talk, is stand up, look around, and take a picture. Like, what do you have in front of you right now that would qualify as content? Because for me, I'm sitting in my office where I have an entire bookshelf of books written by men and women who have done incredible things across this globe, that are men and women of faith, of leadership, right, of all things that are awesome. And so why can I not pick my favorite quote from a book and jump on Facebook Live and go, you know what, guys, I read this today. You know what, guys, this guy in Clubhouse said, you can't outsource authenticity. And let me talk about this for a minute, because if I'm being honest, I feel like I've been fake recently, right? Pull things that other brilliant people have already created, give your 2 cents on it, and watch your people continue to flock back to want to listen. And man, that's what I try to do over and over again.
Dude, what else you guys can do for like property walkthroughs is pick the most interesting part of the property. Like if you have a man cave, be like, this is the best fucking man cave in the world. Tune in, see this. It's amazing. I had one dude, he's a friend of mine. God, this is probably when Facebook Live came out, when I was still living in Chicago. And he had about, no bullshit, like a $75,000 Metallica collection in his basement. He knows the band personally. He had every album, every autograph, basically every bit of memorabilia you could imagine about Metallica. And then that Facebook Live made a lot of sense, because of the truth that no one's going to buy the damn house. No one's going to buy the house. They're not watching the video for the house. Like, I sold one house on Facebook Live, actually. But the way I sold it is because we started up on the rooftop. We're like, hey, look at the views. There's only one rooftop in West Town, and that's why you have to buy it. And guess what? This is not on the market yet. It actually did sell because of that. But the point being, who did a really good job of this, Jeff, Sharon, and how Sharon describes how to do his open houses. And basically, it's really simple, dude. It's just pick the most interesting part, tease us in there. There's your attention getter, and then reveal it and have fun. Kyle,
Agreed, Michael. I'm gonna jump in here too on the equipment piece. Kyle's right. As far as some of us having access to professionals, I have a full-time videographer. I have ownership in a business video school where I have another videographer, and I have another part-time videographer. However, I still create probably 85% of my content with my cell phone, which is an iPhone 12, and I use my own editing skills, which are primarily self-taught, and I use an app called Viva Video to do a lot of my editing. I also create a good portion of my content in TikTok because it is by far the best content creation app that exists, not just for the social media piece of it, but just for content creation. So literally, I mean, even though you're talking to somebody who creates thousands and thousands of videos and has access to professionals, you can't create that much professional content. So if you really want to do it at a high level, you're going to be doing it yourself.
And the other thing about the videos too is don't worry about them being so professional. Like, you're not creating Steven Spielberg blockbuster videos. So edited versus live. Live's just got to be more entertaining. If you're doing edited, it's about impact. So don't put so much emphasis on the equipment, because only you notice that. I still use a cell phone on everything we do. I shot my whole course in a cell phone because the quality is just as good as most regular cameras, but as long as it's the content that matters. And look at the viral videos you see online. It's like the cat video that was shot with a shaky hand and a cell phone that goes viral because it's the content that ultimately matters. Don't worry about the equipment. That is just your fastest way to come up with an excuse from getting started on the video in the first place, which just delays the whole process, and boom, you're back to square one. SOL.
Love it so much. These guys are spitting fire. Make sure that you follow them and connect with them offline. talk about video. I'm happy to chat with anybody. And I haven't brought this up yet, but if you guys want to do this again next week, let me know if that's something you guys want to do, if you guys find value in that. And I'm sure we can put together a nice panel in order to ask some questions, answer some questions, and help you dominate video. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, dude.
See you guys. All right. Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live or Twitter or YouTube, wherever y'all are watching. There you go. If you have not been a part of Clubhouse, now you have, because of the power of Facebook Live. So I hope you guys got something out of that. Y'all have a great rest of your day. See ya.